Hey, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome once again to our Saturday podcast here at Let Him Run. I'm Fred York here with John Costin, who looks to be, there seems to be, John, a pause in your traveling at the moment. Can you give us an update, John?
In Plymouth meeting in Pennsylvania, just getting on the Pennsy Turnpike. So I had to pull off into a parking lot so we could get this done and get the information out to our loyal listeners.
Yes, and we appreciate that. Absolutely making the time, John. I know you're got some activities going on today. I just hope as we get through this podcast, at some point we don't see any flashing red lights come up behind you as you sit in the. Where are you, in a parking lot?
I'm in a parking lot that's totally deserted. A total parking lot that's nobody around me. So I think I'm safe.
Hey, okay. So we got some good stuff coming today on our happy hour. Yesterday, we commented a little bit on some of the races coming up at Keeneland, particularly the Coolmore Mile, which is just the more we look at it, the more competitive it is. So we're going to take a minute now to go ahead and let John dive into the all stakes pick 5 at Keeneland today. But before we do that, just a quick shout out and a thank you to our sponsors, Case Pork Roll, family owned and operated since 1870. Try Case for the taste, and it is good, believe me. And also the vape shop located in Hamilton on Route 33. They have all your vape supplies and a full selection of top-selling CBD. I want to thank them for the support, which allows us to go on and bring you this podcast here every week, a couple times a week. So, John, how's it looking down there in Keeneland? I believe last time I checked, it was fast and firm, beautiful. That's a beautiful place down there.
Beautiful fall weather in Keeneland, what you would expect. So great day of racing, a lot of big, races. And like we said yesterday, Breeders' Cup impact all across the board. Fred will go through that later with you at Belmont. We'll touch a little bit with Keeneland now. The only thing we're not going to cover today is Santa Anita. So everybody, you're on your own for Santa Anita. Also, keep in mind, there is a cross-country pick 5 that includes 2 of Fred's races at Belmont and 3 of my races at Keeneland. So
really?
Those races cross country, we're going to have to, dabble in that. It starts with race 7 at Aqueduct, and it also features race 8 at Aqueduct.
Okay.
It also races at Keeneland, 6, 7, and 8 at Keeneland. So just got to get the sequence. It's the cross country pick 5, player friendly, 15% takeout. So wager you want to look at and, cross both our picks between Keeneland and Belmont. So
what's the base for that, John? Is it $1 a play or $3?
No, it's a 50 cents, 50 cent, 15% takeout. Very nice wager.
That's awesome. 50 cents. Oh, wow. That's a play. That's a definite play for sure. Love it.
Yep.
All right. Well,
so we're going to dive.
Let's get started with race 6, John.
Race 6. That is not the last 5 races. Their late pick 5 is the all stakes pick 5, which begins in race 6. There is a race after the turf race, but that's not included in any pick 5. So keep that in mind. Race 6 starts the pick 5 at Keeneland. Starts with a 5.5 sprint on the grass. Total crapshoot. Always when these 5.5 on the grass, it all depends on the break, who could get out there. And this race, more than ever, the first 50 yards is going to be the telltale for the whole race. On my speed figures here, the 3-horse 8-1 with Tyler Gaffleone is the speed of the speed. He definitely, last time he broke slow, stuttered at the start, and he just never could get into the race. You can see his best running is done when he's on the lead. And he will, if he breaks, he will be on the lead. Number 5, Doncho, since he's been put on the turf, turned into a really nice turf horse. Buyers keep going up on the grass, 97, 97 the last 2. Some of the highest in the field here, and he's done it twice. But he's done it on the front end when there wasn't as much speed. So now he might go into chase mode, and even though he looks fast on here, the speed figures, if the 3 breaks, he'll have the lead. 5 might be in chase mode. Can he sit the pocket and duplicate them efforts from the second spot not leading? If they wind up getting in a little duel, the 5 and the 3, you got, your closers, the 8, who's a proven commodity in the turf sprint last year. The Breeders' Cup ran second to Cogburn, who was unbeatable at that time. And he ran second in the race we did cover yesterday, that Bow River at Kentucky Downs, where Howard Wolowitz is Fred's top pick in the last race. So he's coming out of a good race. He had a good account of himself. Maybe he could sit the trip, and we know he could close. Governor Sam might be able to sit the trip as well. And the old-time veteran 7-year-old Arrest Me Red is probably your, real closer in here. And from the rail, he could save all the ground with Machado and take a run. So I'm going to have to go 5 deep here because not sure how they're going to break. But if I was going short, it would be the 3, 5, and 8. But I'm going to include the 1 and the 7 in case, they mix it up on the front end a little bit to get out of the first leg.
I think that's a perfect way to start. I have just a quick question. I was looking at this. What do you think happened? And then again, maybe you know more about this than I do. Like Flavien Prat got off the 2 world record, who was trained by Rodolphe Brissett, and got on the 4 Outlaw Kid for George Weaver. He's ridden that horse once, but he's been on world record. Not that I think that horse has a good shot. It's probably going to be a pace factor, but Torres gets on him, and Pratt was on the last 8 races.
That horse scratched. So he ran yesterday at Keeneland on a dirt race.
So
why they entered him in the world record is a scratch.
Not here. Okay.
I should have mentioned at the start. I should have mentioned at the start.
He was cross-entered and he went into the other race. Okay, got it.
He ran 3rd or 4th yesterday in the dirt race, a stake race. So that with him out of there, that's what made me think the 3. I should have mentioned at the start. World record out makes the 3 the speed of the speed and the 5 the chaser. So that's how I saw it without world record. And that's why Pratt got on the 4 because he was expecting world record to scratch and go on the dirt race. So everything played out according to what everybody thought. So that's the reason for that.
Good info. All right, got it.
Next race, the Grade 2 TCA Thoroughbred Club of America, 6 furlongs. The 5 Ahava, the class of the class here. I mean, he is definitely, Grade 1 proven commodity. She is. The rest of them, attempted Grade 1s, but no, real success in the Grade 1. So the only question mark is Bahava's done it at 7 furlongs. This 6 furlongs is going to be too sharp for her. Will her class prevail and run them down if she could stay close enough? The thing with her, if you look second off the layoff, that's the key with her. First off the layoff, she needs to get cranked up a little bit. Every time she's come second off the layoff, she shows a victory. So with her second off the layoff here, with her class, I think she'll be close enough and run these down. If you wanted to switch up the ticket and not single the 5, which I'm doing, you could go shorter in the first leg, like I said, and instead of like 5 by 1, you could do something like a 3 by 3, and it would be 3 by 2. It'd be similar. And the other horse I would use is the 7 Zeltos Asmussen horse. Likes the distance, loves the distance. 7 out of 10. Loves Keeneland. Pratt rides again, and she's just a little off form, and maybe she's rounding into form for this, and that's what Asmussen has been pointing for. She's the defending champ from last year. So if I was going to use, I would use her. And the 2 Wesley Ward scares me a little bit, even though the pace numbers don't stack up. Will be the speed, get out there going 6 furlongs, and if nobody really challenges her, maybe she could go a little longer than expected. And the 5 needs 7 furlongs, can't run her down. So I'm going to lean my hat second off the layoff that Bahava is the class of the class and does get in position top of the stretch, and class prevails. And I'm going to single the 5.
I'd like to see us get through this race and go deep in the next race again, where we have a lot of horses to look at. And I don't blame you, because that looks like a real tough race to figure out, race 8. So let's talk about that, John.
Yeah, this is a tough one. Chez Soir, however that you say that. Last in the spring meet, we caught this horse at 6-1. Had to withstand an objection. We were in a tournament, and that was a big play for us. And won and held on, beat Excellent Truth, and loved Keeneland. The last 2 times, got the yielding turf. She did not like the yielding. She was uncovered wide the whole way. And last time she ran in a race with She Feels Pretty and Excellent Truth and Dynamic Pricing, and did all the work on the front end. They went pretty quick. So she, made a good account of herself. I think she needs to be covered up. She don't want to be on the lead. So I could see her getting covered up and getting that similar trip she had at Keeneland when she shows that she's 1 for 1 at Keeneland. The 2 Regia, speed will possibly try to wire him, and I wouldn't say that it's not even possible. If she gets the right trip and nobody pushes her, she's going to be tough to catch. The 3 Nadia Dean, the South America, the Argentine horse, nothing wrong. The last 2 races on the turf, nothing wrong here in the States. Got to win at Keeneland, and 4 for 4 at the distance. little outclassed. Her class will have to, the 4 simply out front's another one that considered trip and close. Dynamic pricing, who Chad Brown, this might be a little too sharp for, she might need that mile and a 16th, mile and 1/8, mile and a half too far. This might be too short, but she'll come with her run. Let's see, I think Chad has won the last 7 runnings of this race. So, I got to look for a Chad first.
Record.
The 7 Heredia, another one that if you dive deep in there, it's very classy, European that, can definitely 3 wins at the distance. Then the 9 and the 10, I got to use them. So I really can't narrow down. It's just see how this race goes. And I have to use an abundance of them here to get out of it. Even if I was trying to go short, I couldn't do it in this race. I would have to use just about every horse. The only one I haven't made a case for is the 6, 8, and 11. All the rest I can definitely, throw in there. And a 12, interesting. I'm not going to use, but did I use a 12? I think I did use a 12, yeah. Because the horse was meant to be a turf horse the whole time. They started out first 2 lifetime starts trying to get on the grass, got rained off. Then it was a dirt horse. Ran so good. Okay, let's go in the, the dirt. And they ran a juvenile fillies and just missed in the juvenile fillies. So they had a dirt campaign. Now they're getting back to the turf. Down the road, maybe not today, but this horse, keep an eye on for the future, was meant for the turf to start, and will be sometime along the way, maybe a turf horse.
Yeah, I really like the 5. I like a dynamic pricing. I think Dylan Davis, one of the best closers on a a speed horse, or on a closing horse. So I think that's really good. I don't know exactly what's going to happen in terms of the space. He's won already at a mile, so I think that's going to be pretty solid right there. So,
yep. Next race moving up here is going to be like everybody's like ultra single. The 7 Ewing, he's scratched, so that takes out some pace of the race. And that Ted Naffy, the one I'm singling, 4 to 5 on the morning line, probably be 3 to 5. Right. Just if you watch that video and you watch that race where, once he, was asked to run, he put a little space, and then when Johnny Velasquez let it go, he just took off like a bullet and just kept going. And, this mile and a 16th, he should be able to get this distance here. And I don't think, the further they go, the better. And if you watch that replay, that's what I did last night and made me say, you know what, I'm not going to try to beat him. But if you want to structure a ticket with trying to beat him, the 1 and the 2 definitely, are the ones I'm using with him. If I could figure out a way to use 3 in here, the 2 is my single on this ticket. But the 1 and the 2, Tom Amos's horse, Big Dom, ran really good. His debut. Yeah. And then even commented right after the race saying he was surprised the horse did so well. He needs 2 turns. He was just warming up when he got the lead and won that race by a neck. So he'll be, good in there. And the horse on the rail, Blackout, McPeak's horse, very impressive, going 2 turns at Ellis Parks. Went around the 2 turns already. His workout pattern has been sharp as could be since that race. So if you're trying to beat him, the 1 and 2. But after visually seeing Ted Naffy, I don't think I'm going to try to beat him that much.
I agree. I think that's a solid pick in that race. And if we get to the last leg, we've got a lot of action there going on. And I think that would be a nice opportunity to pay out some nice payouts to see some will pays on that on a $140 ticket. So let's talk about that last race.
Yep, and we did the deep dive into it yesterday. So if you want to go get a full analysis of both me and Fred's thoughts, go to yesterday's podcast archive, the happy hour. We really dove into it. But I'm going to hang my hat on the 8 program trading. Like we said yesterday, second time off a long layoff, has never done anything wrong. So I think Chad has been pointing for this spot. The only question we had yesterday, is this mile too sharp for him? Because he'll have to, sit a nice trip and then come running. But he does have a tremendous turn of foot and definitely be leaning on him heavily. The big favorite, Diego Velasquez, which we said yesterday, he beat Notable Speech, who came back and run in Woodbine, ran a great race there. And Notable Speech would be 3 to 5 in this spot. So Diego Velasquez beat him. But all his wins came, the more I looked into it, like a slower European, like galloping kind of pace, not this sharp 2-turn, mile that he's going to have today. So I think he'll be a little further back than we're used to seeing him. And we know he has the turn of foot, but, will he like these 2 sharp turns? At 8-5, I'm willing to take a little stand against them, but I will use defensively as one of my mains.
Gotcha. And again, you mentioned before that, when we talked about this race yesterday, you really like program trading. That's certainly a big one. I really am looking forward to seeing the number 3, Howard Wolowitz, run with Jaramillo on him as an only mount. I love that. I don't know what happened to my video here. I know you can hear me, John, but you can't see me.
I can hear you loud and clear. I just don't see you. Actually, it's better for the viewers that you're blacked out there. That's a joke.
All right, John. I got it. So, yeah, I don't know how I'm going to try and fix it up. But any more comments on any of the horses in that leg, John?
Yeah, I definitely am going to try. That Rhetorical is the New York bred who just keeps stepping up and just keeps doing everything correct that they asked him to do. And now this is a big spot. It's the acid test. He is getting better and better, but man, does he do it impressively. When I watch those videos, I mean, he can definitely have a turn of foot. And we've seen New York bred Spirit of St. Louis go down to Gulfstream and win that grade 1 $5 million turf race in Gulfstream in January. Right. So we know New York bred can definitely step up on the scene. And Bill Walden, I mean, he's got a stable that's rocking and rolling now. The 10, Brilliant Birdie, nothing wrong. Again, there's a horse that you definitely want to include, like in a reverse tri-key or something at 8-10 to 1, and use that horse to hit the board somewhere. Honest trying sort, 9 out of 12, in the money in the first 2 spots. So another one. And one I'm not going to sleep on is the 12 at a crazy price. Dylan Davis got to work out a trip from the outside, but his 2-mile races, definitely right there, just missed and wins by a neck. But it is a 3-year-old facing olders here, and we'll see how he does. But at the price, I'm going to find a spot for him. And your Howard Wolowitz, definitely going to include that one, hard trying sort. So that's where we get to this leg, and hopefully have a lot of coverage with some decent will pays.
I agree. I think this is a nice setup. The ticket is very, very solidly put together. It's certainly an affordable ticket. And like you said, some of the comments that we have made about some of the other horses, our listeners, our viewers can, put a ticket together on their own with some of the picks that we have. We talk about which horses we like a lot, which horses we want to kind of give us a little bit of coverage. I think this is a good ticket, John. I appreciate you taking some time to come out and join us once again as you continue your travels. I know you got a big travel coming up tomorrow, going out of town. Really traveling handicapper starting tomorrow, heading out to Costa Rica, and we look forward to getting an opportunity to talk to you from there under whatever circumstances it might be. You'll make yourself available. It's always good to get your insight and your information. And like you said, the viewers are probably appreciating the fact they can't see me. Maybe when I take you, I remove you from the stage, I'll pop back in, but I'll try and go through my picks, even if there is no, unfortunately, on video. But there's John's pick 5 at Keeneland up there right now. I'll leave that up there for a little bit when I begin to talk about what I'm going to be doing, John. So have a great day, John. We'll look for some winners, and I'll talk to you soon, and we'll keep our eyes closely on Keeneland and Belmont, John. All right?
All right, so let's come up with that cross country and hit that with your selections and my selections, and we'll see what happens.
I'm going to take a look at that. I'll post that on X. Let him run on X. Also, I'll put some probably on Instagram, put something up there so we can continue to put some tickets together to work out with. All right, John, you're strapping in. I'll see you later, buddy.
All right.
Great day. All right, bud. Later.
All right, everybody. Let him run today. See you guys. Bye-bye.
All right. Okay. I'm going to go through this quick because it's unfortunate. I don't know what happened to the camera, but I'll go through the opportunity to go through the picks here. Belmont starting in race 8. You can see my pick 5 ticket up there. And if you looked at our information on Florida Sports Talk, where we have our articles up there and soon our videos, maybe not this one because of the lack of actual video here, but apologize for that. I'm trying to get my tech people here to fix it. In the meantime, I'm going to go through race 8, which is at Belmont, mile and 16th on the turf. Post time 3:51. It is the Miss Grillo Grade 2 Stakes. I went, if you look at my ticket there, I went a little deep here because I think this race is kind of wide open. Used 5 horses here, the 2, 9, 10, 11, 12. My best bet in here, I got scratched, the 6, Rose Room. I really like that horse. But I think my best bet here might be the 10, Miss Picky. This horse has got some speed. I love Caramouche on the speed horse. I think he can get to the front from here. Not that he was in big trouble in the 10 hole, but with 2 scratches, he's now in the 8 hole. So that puts him a little closer. So in that race, again, I went deep. I used the 2, 9, 10, 11, 12. My top pick, number 6, Rose Room, got scratched. So I added the 2 in. I didn't have the 2 initially. He's 20-1 with Edgar Zayas and Safi Joseph Jr. Taking Safi Joseph Jr.'s statistics when he goes from 2 sprints to a route, he hits at 30%. So he knows how to get a horse ready to go into a route. Okay, race 9 at Belmont at the Big A's, opposite claiming $75,000, 6 furlongs on the dirt. I don't think there's too much spreading needed in this race because I only went with the 3 big invasions, 7-2 morning line. The number 1 Prime Power, ridden by Manny Franco, trained by Miguel Clement. When he runs in his company, like meaning this kind of race, he does very well. He's been in some grade 1, grade 2 races. He was definitely outclassed there. Now getting Manny Franco for the first time, I think Manny Franco is a great rider for this horse. And again, he's in company where he belongs. I think this horse is going to run a big race. I was almost going to think about single him, but I also decided to use number 6, Warlow. Joel Rosario also has some good speed too. So I think these 2 might end up being on the front end. And I think, this horse, Warlow, number 6 at morning line to 3-1, is 2 for 2 at Belmont, 2 for 2 at the distance. So I think that creates a big time opportunity for those 2 horses to get to the front and possibly get a chance to go 1-2 at the wire. Hopefully the number 3 would be closing into the number 6. Okay, the 10th race is a maiden special weight. It is 6 furlongs on the dirt. 6 of these 8 of these horses are first timers. 6 of the 8, actually the 4 scratched. He was one of the first timers who scratched. So now it's a field of 7. In this race, I went with the 3-7-8. The 3-22 Black is ridden by Christopher Elliott, a good jockey, trained by Kenneth McPeak, who's super hot on all ends here, hitting at 31%. The horse is working out great. Out of McLean's Music, a very good sire. So I went with the 3, the 7 double act, another first-time starter with Belmont and Junior Alvarado riding. Can't forget about those 2 when they team up. Horse was bought for $850,000. So you got to believe this horse had some real good appearance to him, and to pay $850, put out a big bucks, and this horse is going to do well. The 8 horse, My World, 9-5, Manny Franco riding that horse. I think that's another horse from that post. I love the post. He's one of the few horses, one of 2 horses that has experience. I think that has to have an impact on how this horse runs. And Manny Franco staying on the horse. He's been on the horse before. Brad Cox and Manny Franco win a lot of races together. I love the fact that the outside post, won't run into any trouble. Some of the younger horses on this inside could possibly, veer in or out and cause a little trouble. Whereas My World in the 8 hole on the outside will be able to look ahead and see what's going on and pick a spot where he wants to run. So in that race, we have the 3-7-8. All right, the race 11, the Belmont at the Big A, is a mile and 16th on the turf, $88,000 non-winners of 1 allowance race. I kind of went a little deeper. The 1, I like Quando. He's got a good post. He's got some speed. I think if he gets out in front, he's going to take this field all the way. It took him a while to break his maiden. Went through about 16 races before he broke his maiden. But maybe the light went on now that he's stretched out. The first time he went a mile is the last race that he won. Put up a really impressive speed figure. Had been sprinting on turf prior to that. So I think that gives him a big edge here. But I also included in this race the 5, which also has an opportunity to, sit at a good trip and possibly run the speed down. Irish Gent, an Ireland-bred horse, 7-2 morning line, ridden by Kendrick Caramouche, trained by Todd Pletcher. This horse came in second his last race, but ran a nice race. Just got beat at the end and continued to run on after, galloped out really nicely. And I think that means a lot too. When a horse does that, it looks like they're ready to go. The 10 horse Main Beach, probably one of the best horses in this field. Morning line of 4-1, ridden by Joel Rosario, trained by Chad Brown. Taking the blinkers off here, I think that's going to allow this horse to kind of sharpen his run a little. Third off the layoff. Those 3 horses, the 1, 5, and 10, have a big chance. If we get to the last race, the allowance race, it's a $88,000 allowance. Non-winners of 1, 1 1 16th mile again on the outer turf at Belmont. I use the 5, 10, and the 11 here. I love the 5 here, 8-1. The horse ran so impressively last out and won, closing into a big field of 11. So I think he knows how to handle big fields. And at 8-1 is certainly going to be an opportunity to pay if we get to this leg with the 3 horses that we have, the 5, 10, and the 11. The 10, Wrigleyville, you're a fan of Chicago Cubs. This horse could be the speed of the speed. Kendrick Carmouche, again, knows how to ride a good speed horse. I think the post here is going to have to break hard and get to the front. I think he can do that. And Kendrick Carmouche is just the right jockey to do that. The number 11, Peak Hype. Another horse that we're using here, another Chad Brown trained horse. This horse is more likely another closer in here. So if there's a speed duel that breaks out early on, it's going to give this horse an opportunity to run them down at the end. And that's our choices there. So my ticket is still up there. Again, I apologize for the my guys that we're not able to get to it to fix it. But I appreciate you hanging in there with us. I see our viewers stayed with us. As my buddy John Costa said, perhaps this could be the start of something new where maybe I don't need any video. You just need the audio. But once again, thanks for watching Let 'Em Run. Good luck with your picks today. Like John said, that cross-country pick 5 is really a cool bet. 50 cents pick 5. We covered a lot of the races that are involved in that 50-cent pick 5, cross-country pick 5. So check it out. And once again, thank our sponsors, the Vape Shop and Case Pork Roll. We'll be back again next week, but we'll also be putting information out there on X. Let 'Em Run, let_EM_run on X, and on Instagram, Fred York 23. So check us out there and make sure you read our stories on Florida Sports Talk. And we will have all our videos at some point archived on there. All our articles are archived. You can check it out on Florida Sports Talk if you type in Let 'Em Run and check out the archives of our articles. So thanks again for joining us. Don't forget to let 'em run, and good luck today.